At certain points today's video gets a little bit too sentimental, perhaps a little bit too sincere, so to try and offset that and still, stay within the boundaries of YouTube's twerty quarter, here's a picture of a bum that I drew in Photoshop. Whoa, the humour's off the charts! What the fuck am I actually doing? There was a point, maybe after an hour and a half or so, where I actually forgot I was playing Unbox. I entered what can only be described as a meditative state. The world around me became shrouded in some kind of fog, and I slipped into this sort of trance. For about half an hour I was at total peace with myself, the universe, and the game itself. As I muddled around the large, colourful, open world in front of me, nothing particularly mattered anymore. This might not necessarily seem like high praise for a game, but I don't know, I think that actually sort of is? Unbox is a game developed by English studio Prospect Games for the PC about sentient cardboard boxes that deliver themselves. They can also drive cars. The bad guy is a bot with a twiff. You roll around and collect golden tape and stamps. You can double jump by shedding a layer of yourself. It's wonderful nonsense. Perhaps the best thing about it is that it's my kind of nonsense. I suppose that's why I found myself unable to stop playing for long periods of time, and why I entered some kind of state of ultimate relaxation as soon as I picked up a controller. It pushes the right combination of buttons for me, it scratches the right sort of itches. Unbox is a collectathon platformer bearing a striking resemblance in both its systems and its design to Rare's Banjo-Kazooie, and to the same extent plays on its upcoming spiritual successor, Ukulele. The game is purely about collecting things in a large open environment. Littered around these worlds you travel to are golden rolls of packing tape, trapped boxes and stamps that once you've collected a set amount of allow you to battle the main bad guy and then progress to the next level. It's not the most challenging of concepts, admittedly, but in my eyes that's what makes it so endearing. One of the only games I've ever received a Platinum Trophy for on the PlayStation 3 is the HD remake of the original Jak and Daxter, developed by Uncharted and Crash Bandicoot creators Naughty Dog. The game shares a lot in common with Unbox and Banjo-Kazooie in that the ultimate goal is to simply collect everything that isn't nailed down, whilst interacting with a cast of twerty characters in an exotic, colourful landscape. It was spring, the world was on the cusp of summer, and I was about to finish my second year of university. All of my assignments were handed in, lectures were beginning to wind down, and life was slowly grinding to a lazy, hazy halt. I sat on my lumpy bed in my cramped room with the window open, the smell of warmth creeping through, and I played Jak and Daxter endlessly. I can't remember the game, I can't recall any specific moments. I know it wasn't challenging, it wasn't particularly memorable clearly, but still I think about that experience an awful lot. It was cathartic, endlessly ticking off a series of lists until everything was complete. It was relaxing, it was fun. I was happy, it was a happy time. And I get that same feeling playing Unbox. I'm happy even if I'm not particularly engaged, but that's fine. If anything, that's something most games can't even hope to achieve. For me, it feels like a lot of the time I'm so tangled up in their complex web of systems that relaxing is perhaps the opposite of what I'm experiencing, but then again, that's what makes video games so exhilarating. It's not their fault, that's just how I play. That's why I enjoy playing. But not Unbox. Unbox is simple, Unbox is uncomplicated. Unbox brings me back to my happy place, and I think that's just what I wanted from a game at this current moment in time. Unbox makes me happy. I'm aware this is an incredibly niche way of recommending a game to someone. It's not exactly an 8 out of 10, is it? The line, Unbox put me into a feud state and it reminded me of a happier time, isn't exactly a catchy bot quote, but there you go. Unbox was enjoyable nonsense that let me just turn off my brain for a few hours at the end of a long day, and that's all it ever had to be. It's fun. I like it. A whole lot, actually. The way the game controls is quite uniquely janty, too. You're a bot, so you're a square, and you move exactly like you'd expect to. Weirdly. It reminded me a lot of Katamari, like you have a great deal of control over an object that's also very slightly fighting against the unnatural way you're attempting to use it. Traversing the worlds of Unbox is a simple pleasure that just feels right. It's great fun to simply fling your bots around the world with reckless abandon, and thankfully without consequence. If you end up plummeting to your cardboard demise, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Off you go. Try then. What worlds they are though, vast and colourful, rendered beautifully in Unreal 4. If there's one thing I will say is that they're perhaps a little too realistic. Aesthetically they clash a little with the character design, but then again it's a game about toting cardboard boxes, so perhaps it's not worth dwelling on. Oh, and you can customise your bots too, and it's at this point that the heritage behind Unbox becomes immediately apparent. Unbox is stuffed to the brim with bad jokes, terrible puns, self-referential humour and parodies of everything from games to films, and this all works together to highlight just how British the game is, and perhaps this is why Unbox succeeds in replicating the style of platformer Rare was so famous for back in the day. Unbox has a personality that feels uniquely British, that oozes with charm from top to bottom. It reminds me of early Bullfrog and Lionhead games, of Media Molecule's Little Big Planet, of Viva Pinata and Tonta's Bad Fur Day. It's whimsical, I'm gonna use it. It's charming, it's just good. It's just good, simple, stupid, nonsensical fun. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Unbox. It's 12 quid on Steam. There's not a lot of jokes in this one, is there? I did warn you, so here's another picture of that bum.